What is up, Juventus fans? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the latest edition. I know yesterday was the latest edition, but whatever. Today is the latest edition of the Transfer Meter Show. Honestly, probably the version that you actually care the most about. Who's coming in? Are we actually getting anybody to come to the club? I know the outgoing ones get a little bit repetitive and kind of unfortunate, but I feel like yesterday's show actually was pretty good. If you haven't checked it out, we had an issue with the upload. Please go ahead and check it out now. But I promised today, I also said that I'd promised that it would be a fast one yesterday, and it was 19 minutes long. Today, I'm actually going to shoot to see if it's to be as short as possible. We've only got five topics to talk about. We'll actually try to quick hit each of them to give you an update, get you in and out of here. These are our options for who we're going to have, what's going to be going on with them, how likely are they to be at Juventus, and then we'll get you out. So let's get into it now and see how it goes. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back. You're in the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is a Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. Sorry, I paused there because I was like, is it really already that day? Yes, it is. Anyway, and it's the waning, not really waning, but the transfer market has definitely gone on long enough. It feels like it shouldn't have gone on this long because we haven't had much happen so far. Like barely anything, nothing really. So now we're going to actually talk to you about the things that you care most about, the players that are coming into the club, not the ones that are outgoing. That's the ones that, like I said, that one's a bit of a headache to even get into. Now we're going to talk about the ones that are incoming. And right now we have an update for you. So hopefully this will actually be more of a fun one for you guys rather than the ones before where it's just fanboy dreaming. Who are we going to get? Can we get somebody? You know what I mean. Anyway, let's jump into it now. We'll start off with number one, and you know who it is. It's the same guy as always. It's the green, though. We get that green light back, and that would be Manuel Locatelli. The situation has been ongoing with him. He wants Juventus. I could keep repeating it all and on and on and on and on. You know what the situation is. He wants Juventus. He doesn't want Arsenal. Arsenal fanboys, he ain't coming to you. He ain't about you. That's all it is. Regardless, he's going to be a Juventus player. Just it's a matter of time, is what I take it as. Right now, hopefully, you know, God only knows what could happen and who could really, bumble this for, or whatever you want to call it. But I think they'll get it done. I think this is one they've been working to for so long. He has an 80% chance of getting here. Gets the green light from us. Gets the green light from Juventus. Just needs that green light from the guys in green at Sassuolo. But as it stands right now, here's the latest update we have. There's going to be a meeting between Sassuolo and Juventus on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. I know they keep dragging it out longer and longer and longer, but I'm crossing my fingers that this is the meeting that we get that news that we needed, the news that we want, that, it's done. They agreed on it. Whatever they need to do, the needs be met from both sides. And he is a Juventus player. Following this week, I'm hoping, there's part of me that's still worried. Not worried that he won't come to Juventus, but that, Sassuolo will find a way to keep this from happening right away. So we'll see. Anyway, look out for Wednesday or Thursday to be the day to get an update regarding there. But again, we think Locatelli, of course, will be a Juventus player. Midfield needs him. Let's move on to the next one. And this is the big story that we have, the big update we have for you today. If you were in our live stream, and literally all the news dropped while we were live. It's the reason we go live at the time that we do. We do it at 4:45. To 5:45. Sometimes we run over because Julie and I like to talk. We enjoy it. We enjoy interacting with you all that are in the community. All that we're doing. Anyway, so here's the situation. The number 2 one we've got is Kaio Jorge. Watch me end up saying Kaio wrong. So we'll see when somebody pronounces it correctly. This guy is actually the big news that Juventus has had. Let me go ahead and read over it. We're in the green. We're in the green again. We've got him now upgraded. I think last week he was a 50% chance. Now he's an 80% chance to become a Juventus player. Now, why is that so? Well, there's been a lot going on. There's been a lot of moving and shaking that's been happening within, yesterday and today and all that's been going on. First, let me pull up this real quick. The latest update we have from Giovanni Albanese. It's about a couple hours today around the time that I was shooting this. So it'll be yesterday, last night, whatever for you guys. But basically, Giovanni Albanese said total agreement between the entourage of Kaio Jorge and Juventus starting from January 1st, 2022, when he will be a free agent. However, Juve could decide to present an offer to Santos around €1 million to anticipate his arrival. So here's what happened. The latest update of everything that we know, he was originally kind of planned and targeted by AC Milan, and AC Milan was going to try to get him to come to their club. They were offering €6 million to, at least that's what we have, the number we have, €6 million to Santos to become a Milan player. And then, but here's the thing that happened. When he had the talks with them, okay, yada, yada, yada. Benfica came in, they had an offer, they started, negotiating with Santos. But again, it's the will of the player that means the most. And so Juventus stepped in. And when Juventus stepped in, they threw their weight around a little bit. And Kaio Jorge said, I want Juventus. I want to go there. And so we've talked about this. We talked about this recently, where basically the whole issue with, Sassuolo. Sorry, I'm back on Locatelli again. Santos, and their contract with him ends in December of this year. So January, he becomes a free agent. I said it yesterday. I've said it time and time again, that how stupid it would be of any club to go ahead and pay €10 million that they're asking for this player for a few months, for a handful of months, I guess 5 months or so, whatever it is, for this player to come to their club. So Santos, basically, they're kind of, they unfortunately screwed themselves, if we're going to be honest. But basically, they're pushing to try to get 10 million. They weren't going to agree with, Milan for Kaio Jorge because they want to get the 10, not the 6. Well, here comes Juventus, and they talk to Kaio Jorge. He wants to go to Juventus. He chooses Juventus. So let's go back to what we have, the latest update. And this guy is, I believe it's Andre Noriega. Like Noriega. Anyway, he's a Brazilian youth football. He's official representative of Santos FC Europe. So he has the connections there. He reports, Kaio Jorge has chosen Juventus. I'm being told the same thing. Here we go. He said, here we go. He pulled the Fabrizio Romano on us. He said, dramatic and rushed into the saga. What a ride. Transfer in January, but they may try to get him now with a lower offer. Santos got the worst possible outcome from this. They're taking a big L. And yes, they are. That's true. So here's what's going on. Juventus, and Julie and I were talking about this basically. Juventus, why would you offer anything? For this player, he's going to come in. He's going to be a 4 striker. I don't expect him to come in and be the next Ronaldo, the next Neymar that he's touted to be. Honestly, though, if you look at him, you look at his picture, tell me that this man right here, look at him. Look at him. You see him? Okay. Look at him and tell me he doesn't look like if Cristiano Ronaldo and Alexandro had a baby together. I'm just throwing that out there. Just let me know. Is that what he looks like to you? Because that's what he looks like to me. Anyway, back on actual topic of what we're talking about here. Kaio Jorge, the whole situation with him, Juventus came up big in this. They're going to get him on a free if they wait till January, and it seems that he's in agreement. He's going to wait. He'll come in January and be joining the club. But they could offer, I want to say chump change, but they could offer, here's a mil right now. Yeah, I know you want 10. I know Milan offered you 6. Player chose us. He's going to wait, so he can either come free and you can receive nothing and lose out totally with this, or here's €1 million now. Be happy with it. Send him our way now before the season starts. Your choice. We'll see what happens. They could be petty, and they could wait. Honestly, either way, who cares? If you're Juventus, you can get him in a few months. He's not going to be an integral piece of this team going forward. He's only scored 2 goals, in the latest bit of competition that he's had, but he's still a solid player that they're getting. Could potentially, contribute to the club down the road. I'm not going to go out and say that he's going to be, Dybala, or any of that kind of. He's not going to be the next Chiesa. I don't imagine. I could be eating my words later. Save this if I am. Regardless, he now seems about, honestly, 80%. It may be low for what I have, but anything could happen. Somebody could come and be like, I'll pay him 10 million now. We'll pay him more, whatever happens, and then they may end up getting him. But it seems like Cherubini and Arriva Bene, when I said before, where I was, not sure about what they were doing, this might be their shining moment of getting a player, stealing him, getting a great deal with this player, and he could be something big down the line. I don't think he'll be something big right now, but he's got potential. Sorry, I've been talking so much. I'm getting a little winded. I can't breathe through my nose anyway. But anyway, that's the situation as it stands right now. Basically, right now, it could be a 2-man class. I know you don't call it a class, signing, whatever you want to call it, transfer Mercato. Kaio Jorge, and I think Locatelli so far. Let's move on. That's the situation with them. If you have more questions, let me know. I'm sure we'll talk about it later today when I go live for the news. Anyway, we're moving on to the third player that we have. And, I was in such a high, and I was so happy, and I was enjoying this moment. And here we are. I have to talk about him. I have to say his name. And I believe, was it our guy that fixes in? Was it him who brought him up, I think? I apologize if it was somebody else. I think it was him, though, that said that he is my candy man. And yes, he is my candy man. I say his name 3 times. I say it more than that. And he pops up out of the shadows, ready to strike. But here it is. Miralem Pjanic. Here's the situation. He is now elevated to a 50% chance of becoming a renewed Juventus player, I guess. It seems more and more as time goes by that he seems to be more of a concrete. You could hear that in my throat, like something was choking me and saying, "No, you can't do this." Anyway, I have to say it. There's more and more likely that he may become a Juventus player again. The situation with him, though, as it stands, is Ramsey would have to leave before Pjanic comes in. I think the latest I heard, I think Monblano, take it for what it's worth, the Donnarumma situation, never going to forgive. But as it stands right now, Donnarumma, not Donnarumma, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to be stuck on Donnarumma. He's basically saying that, as it stands with Adam Ramsey, not really a great chance of him going, or not going, but wanting to go or whatever. But he thinks that Allegri, Iron Fist over here, will come down, lay down the law and tell him, it's not happening. I'm not playing you. You're out, kind of situation. We'll see if he does do that. I know they kind of signed him under Allegri's time, and Allegri never got to coach him. We'll see what happens. But basically, that seems to be the situation that we would need for Pjanic to come back. But Pjanic right now is ending up looking more and more likely that he could come back to Juventus. Just the pieces have to fall the right or the wrong way, depending on who you are. Let's move on. I really wanted to get on number 2, was the longest one I wanted to talk about, because we actually had real solid news, an update for you guys. The first time this channel that it's existed that I've been able to give you real news. All right, let's move on. And number 4, now we're back in the red. We go straight from yellow, no orange, just red now. And that's the situation with Mauro Icardi. Will Icardi ever come back, or not come back? Will he ever come, long-going flirtation with Juventus, but with the Inter situation, their contract and everything they had with PSG, it wouldn't have happened or whatever. But basically what we have right now is that Icardi is a 20% chance to come to Juventus. Why is that? It's mainly, it's the same thing we talked about before. I don't need to spend too long on this. It's all dependent on the Ronaldo situation. Ronaldo's back. Ronaldo is back, and Ronaldo is here. He's not here, not where I live, obviously. But anyway, he's at Juventus. He was talking, shaking hands, kissing babies. I guess you can't kiss babies still because of the pandy going on. But anyway, he was out there, socializing with Juventus fans. So we're going by the book. And Nedved also said, not that Pavel Nedved is always right, but said that he plans for him to stay here and be a Juventus player going forward. So that's the way we're operating, and that's how I'm operating. So that's why Mauro Icardi is unlikely, because what would happen is you would need PSG to come in and take Ronaldo before Icardi come back the other way. That's really all it is, and that's the only way to see him get out, unless for some reason, PSG cut ties with him and then he comes later. But I don't think it's going to happen this Mercato for right now, as the way things stand. So let's move on. Number 5, the last option. We're still in the red. This one's a 20% one as well. Basically, the situation, it is Alessandro Florenzi. The situation with him, it's not a super high, because there's not a lot of. The reason we really have 20% is because it's not a lot of momentum. There we go. Momentum. Sorry, I'm brain dead. There's not a lot of momentum that's really been built in with all this. So for right now, the way the situation stands, 20% in the red, unlikely, but is a possibility, especially if you're looking for another back there in the defensive line. The defensive, I guess, back, not front. Anyway, it's so confusing. I'm taking 2 sports and using terminology, and it's not working in here. Anyway, you know what I mean. Doesn't seem likely. I, though, would actually be decent proponent. I would be more than happy if you could get Florenzi on the cheap and get him actually in the Juventus jersey. It's another body, another warm body to have back there for the club and the defense, something that we could use, something that we can need. I say go for it. Sign Florenzi if you can. But right now, the main issue with him is that he needs to go as it stands right now with why am I blanking? Oh, with Roma, of course. They're actually, with Marino being there, they don't have him in the plans for the future. He needs to make a move. Where will that move happen? Right now, that's an option is Juventus. Last thing we've heard in the last few days, no real groundswell yet, but let's see what happens. Like, with Chiesa, the way that happened, anything could happen in the final days of the Mercato. But that's really it. Those are the 5 names that we have when it comes to the players that could be coming to Juventus in the transfer meter. Let me know your thoughts. Are you excited about the prospects of landing Kaio Jorge? What do you think he means for the future? Are you more under the line of thinking that he actually could be a long-term solution for the club where he'll be here for a while? Or are you under more of my feeling of being like, he's going to come in, or not long-term, an instant impact. That's what I meant, not long-term solution. Or do you think maybe he's more of a, he's that 4-string striker. He'll come in and get an opportunity when he gets a chance, but he's got a long ways to go before he'll be a big part of the offense. And then we've also got Locatelli. Hopefully, like I said, Wednesday, Thursday, hopefully by Thursday or Friday, we have a deal done and an update, and that he's a Juventus player, and then we can all sleep well at night instead of, sweating, wondering if this is ever going to happen and lying in bed. Is that just me? None of you do that? Anyway, that's what we have for you today. That's the show. Make sure you please go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We just hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to each and every one of you. We kind of celebrated a little bit in yesterday's stream. Go back and check that if you get the chance. It was actually a lot of fun. I actually felt like we had more energy, and we actually had some substance to talk about instead of just nonsense about nothing. We actually had something to talk about. So we had more of you engaged, and it was just a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Make sure you tune in to all of our live streams. We'll be back Monday through Friday. We're usually doing them around 4:45, or if you're entering 4:45, Eastern Standard Time, which is like United States, New York. And then 10:45 if you're in Turin. So figure it out depending on that. Anyway, make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram, and follow me at Justin Sofer on Twitter. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Let's finish this.